This is a gorgeous epoxy resin pour in our crystal edge round mold. For this pour, I'm using Artline Honey Resin and Liquitex acrylic inks in Prussian blue, deep violet, and magenta. I also have some Skyline blue mica and ocean white pigment paste. The Artline Honey, I mixed up about 10.14 ounces because that's all that I had left. This mold holds about 11 ounces. So for the Prussian Blue, I did 6 drops in 2.24 ounces of resin. Then the Deep Violet was 4 drops in 1.69 ounces of resin. My mica was 4 tiny scoops in 1.54 ounces of resin. Of course, I missed it right there, I guess. My ocean white was 4 drops in 2.07 ounces. There's the mica. Pretty blue color. And then the magenta, the Quinacridone magenta, was 3 drops in what was left for the push, about 2.31 ounces. And then I have some crushed glass and iridescent glass beads. And for this pour, I waited until the resin was about 31.3 degrees Celsius. Started pouring a little bit earlier than normal, and I just put the Prussian blue on the bottom. And I found with this resin, it does tend to have a lot of bubbles, so I do use the torch here right after I put the first color down and kind of tap the mold around to get rid of the excess bubbles. No matter what I pour in this mold, it always turns out good. It's like a good luck charm mold. Then you take the deep violet after you're done tapping it and heating it up again to get rid of bubbles, and you pour dots. And I always end up with resin left over after doing this. I don't know why. I think because I started pouring larger dots. I used to pour very small dots doing this, and it's just a random pattern. You're just kind of filling the area. And you're just going to repeat this with the mica and with the white pigment paste. And I take the excess and just take it around the outside of the mold. And in the other pours I've done with this Artline Honey Resin, the resin hasn't moved. It was a little bit jiggly in this pour. I have no idea why, but you'll see it, the little polka dots there start moving around a bit. But that's the blue mica. It's a pretty color. And in the end result, it turned out gorgeous. And you're just pouring that on top of the deep violet dots. And then you take your white and do the same thing. All of these pours basically have Liquitex acrylic inks and the white and maybe mica or maybe not sometimes. I've been trying to keep everything kind of tone on tone lately. I don't know why I took that white away there. Guess I was thinking of something. I always tend to do these really late at night as well, so sometimes I lose track of what I'm doing. Like here, I should have done the purple acrylic ink first, but I did the mica. It doesn't matter. I'm just using up the excess without having to draw more polka dots. Just putting around the edges. And when I did this in the past, I don't know if it was with Art Pro or this Artline resin, I put the white around the edges and it all sank into the middle, which was fine. On this pour, the white tended to stay at the edges. I don't know why. Again, resin does what resin wants to do. And after I'm done pouring that, so I did the excess mica first, and this is the excess deep violet. And then I'm taking the white. Could have left this step out entirely, but trying to fill up the mold. Normally, I was going to try and mix 10.5 ounces, but I didn't have enough resin. This mold will hold up to 11 ounces of resin, so it's pretty substantial pieces. And then, of course, I still have the Quinacridone Magenta push for the center. And once you do the push, you just take your crushed glass and the iridescent beads that I have and drop it into the center. And what's funny, I did a little time lapse and you really don't see anything moving. I left this alone for 10 minutes and when I came back, it had totally changed. So the magic happened when I wasn't watching it. See, not much movement there except for that white on the edge, not going anywhere but staying at the edges. And then it's time to demold. It changed that to that in like 10 minutes, but of course this is the next day after curing. And that turned out so pretty. You can't really see it, but the shimmer from that mica is gorgeous. If you want to have perfect resin pours all the time, try out our Crystal Edge round mold.